back to another video in a different house. Yes, I have temporarily moved to Northern Ireland. Permanently moved. But without any other equipment handy, I can only do basic repairs. So in today's video, we are going to be taking this brand new optical drive and installing it into this Nintendo Wii system, which has suffered a horrific DVD drive failure, which, you know, it's to be expected on stuff this old. Just at first it started off with not being able to read Mario Kart Wii, and now it doesn't work at all, because I, the introverted genius I am, tried to adjust the potentiometer without a multimeter to hand. Hashtag schoolboy error. But no worries. I'm going to be doing this completely one-handed because I don't have a tripod, because I don't have any money. Well, that's a lie. I have plenty of money and I could just as easily buy a tripod, but I'm being cheap. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is really hard. But no worries. Everything will be slowly, so this is mostly a tutorial. Well, actually, no, don't take this as a tutorial. It will be much, just take this as entertainment. The stuff I do here may not be the best way to take apart your Nintendo Wii at all, so don't follow this as a gospel. If I remember how to take this apart. So there's two silvery screws at the top. One here and one here. I want to take those out. Seems doable. And there's two tri-wings, which I believe they use something specific. I can't remember what exactly that they use. It's one of these. I think it's the grey one. Yeah, the grey one works the best. Okay, so those are the two tri-wings out. I think the first thing you're supposed to do before you do anything else is to take the faceplate off. Oh no, I've spilled all the screws everywhere now. Let's not take that off. Let's not take that panel off at all. Let's just take the faceplate off without removing the SD card door. So here you'll find your CMOS battery. If the Wii's not holding time and date after you've unplugged it, that's the culprit. And then under this rubber foot that I've removed multiple times, but for some bizarre reason still sticks itself back down like factory. There we go. Houses a small Phillips head screw that you can just undo and put somewhere else. It's different to the other ones because it's really long. That's how you can tell the difference. And there's another little tri-wing down here you might want to remove while you're at it. But I hope if I was pointing the camera in the right way. Yeah, at some point I'm going to get a tripod. This will just make life so much easier. As much as I do enjoy filming while holding the camera, you just gotta, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. So you just sort of ping the little plastic things across the room. Don't do that. You'll probably lose them unless you're in a very clean, rarely used room like me. I think that this uses the same screw all around. Yeah, although I could probably get away with using a small one for that. It's way too small. was also a bit too big for that job as well. Get this. Just use the big silver. Use the grey screwdriver. There you go. And the front of your console falls off. And there's this little wire plugged in. You just want to unplug that and yeet the front panel into the stratosphere. So we should have taken all of the things out now. I think that there's more hidden screws. There's one, yes, another one under this little plastic panel here. You want to remove that one's a tri-wing. Get the trusty grey screwdriver for that one. I think all of the tri-wings are the same length, so don't feel scared about losing them. And then there's two expertly hidden away under these two rubber feet at the back, under the thumbs in the way. So let's get those off. Cool, and then once again, you're going to want to use your grey tri-wing on both sides. Yeah, nice one. Knock both of those out of their holes. Now I think I can hear things rattling around in the Wii now. I think that might be just brittle plastic from the drive mount, because those are starting to fail now. I'm not sure if you can get replacement parts for that specific section. This is really hard to open up. There we go. It really depends on the Wii console, but several just come off like that. Oh, there appears to be a disc that I've forgotten to remove. Now, there's two ways you can do this, and that's eject the Wii as you would normally, or take the top cover off and meddle with the disc mechanism. Me personally, I'm going to just take it downstairs and plug it in. BRB. Taken your disc out of the drive, or you didn't have a disc in the drive to begin with. What we can do now is take a screwdriver to 4 screws at the back of the console. There are 2 here, and there are 2 at the front. The 2 little joints back here and here can and will be very fragile, and you can't really escape cracking them if you're using the original part. These little things get very hot, so heat plus aging doesn't really do well for plastics. That's why certain things like light diffusers get very brittle, because they've been exposed to heat. Oh shh! Don't do that unless you want a busted ribbon cable. Speaking of which, this is what we'll do now. So you've got 2 wires. One of them is the power, one of them is the data. The power one will be threaded under the console. The data one has a little flap here that you just flip up on, and that will be released. The power one is just a plug, and you just yank it out. And that's the knackered DVD-ROM drive removed from the system, ripe to salvage for parts and other things. So, the camera expertly positioned, that's not going to stay there at all, is it? Whatever. We take the new drive. Which one's the new drive? Right, let's take the old drive, and let's just skadoosh it over there where we don't see it. So at the front of the console, of course, these screw joints, they're quite strong. The ones at the back, where there's been loads of heat, will go brittle and snap, so that's these two here. I think you can buy new bits of these that are made from a different plastic that don't crack, but that's just a fault with the Wii. The other failure points on this Wii are this little gear here, the electrical gear for the eject mechanism, that will crack under strain from age, and of course the laser. But the lasers in every single optical based device, CD players, iPads. Did I say iPads? I was going to say iPods until I realised they don't take CDs. Forget any Macs. They have optical drives in them. Well, the old ones do. Yeah, PCs, Xboxes, PlayStations. They've all got DVD drives and stuff and CD drives, and they will fail because the lasers die. Now, if you're a PlayStation 1 person, have no fear because they make brand new assemblies. I think. Somehow, I don't know how they're doing it. However, if you own any other device, and God forbid you own an original Xbox, you're screwed. These drives, I think, have to be cannibalized from other consoles. Like, these come from the brand new non-GameCube compatible Wiis. I think the drives are the same. So you can get away with using a new drive in an old soft console. And if it's a new drive, yeah, you can hear the plastic cracking away like mad. But like I said, if you've got a GameCube compatible Wii and it doesn't work, I'd just use the DVD drive from a non-backwards compatible console, because the non-back compat units aren't really that desirable. And they're taking up a lot of room, because people don't want them. But they are right for parts if anything else on the system board is damaged. Oh, I've just lost that screw. Right, F this. I'm going to pause and do the screws. Yeah, right, of course, something had to go even worsely wrong, so apparently this little screw thing back here is completely disintegrated. So the drive is only being held in with 3 screws. If you're careful and you don't over-tighten the screws, that's fine. But if you're an idiot like me and over-tighten the screws, then of course it's going to break even further. So let's just place our beautiful little thing on the back of the Smeggin. Yeah, these Wiis are really hard to put back together. Yeah, one sec. Okay, so now I've put that back on, I can just insert the screws back where the screws live. I think all the tri-wings are the same length, so I don't have to worry about any of that. The only different tri-wings you got to worry about are the 2 that go at the front panel. So you just want to tighten those up. Excellent. And put the rubber feet back over the top. Just mold them back into place. Heats will melt the adhesive because this is at the back of the console where the most heat is produced. Because the CPU is right there. Another one of them goes in here. I think. I love the fact that it says LGA on the back. This doesn't have an LGA CPU. That would be cool though. A removable CPU module for the Wii. Anything with a removable CPU is a W move in my books. Because it's just, you know, you rarely see that these days. I think you can see the 2 back there. There we go. Just do those 2 up there. And the other one here. Oh, sorry, those are the tri-wings. Where are the two Philips ones then? Why is there still a single tri-wing left? Oh, I know where. That one goes in here. But I think that holds the front panel on. So before we go any further, we're going to put the front back on. It's pretty straightforward. You just got to take the little LED connector and plug it into that socket. There we go. And then you just sort of ram the faceplate for the Wii on the front of your console. Cool. This goes in this little hole here and is tightened. Damn, these Wii's sure are difficult to meddle anything with. I just shove that back in here. I've given up and I've switched the iFixit screwdriver because it's just 300 times easier to use. And then you got the long crosshead as well. And your front little thing that goes over it. Then you got your two Phillips head screws that go in both here and here. Don't ask me why Nintendo used 80 different screw types when putting this thing together. That's just it's a Nintendo thing for you. It's basically saying, how can we keep people from opening up our consoles and discovering that they run off magic? The answer to that is use 83 different screw types. Yeah, this is also a bloody impossible part to put back on as well. So I'm going to just put the two tri-wings back in on the bottom here and here, just to prevent the panel from squidging around. It's vitally important that you take those two off on the bottom. I didn't, and I ended up destroying my Nintendo Wii, or the front panel, and then I further ruined it by discovering the electrical gear on the disk drive was snapped, and that's why it wouldn't take discs in. The laser does work though, so I'm thinking of just transferring all the mechanical gubbins out of that drive. So yeah, you got that drive in now. And put both these back on. Nice. Cool, so the last thing you really need to worry about is getting the plastic thing on the back on, and I'll do that off cam. Yeah, so just get the plastic on, get those two screws in. Then you just take your panels. I only have this panel left because the other one was snapped off by someone unruly. And then click that back on. I think I'm just going to inspect the Wii for any things I haven't put back on, like this little white thing. Bingo. That's how you do it. That's how you replace a Nintendo Wii disc drive with no fancy filming equipment and a really boring voice. Thanks for watching.